everyone. In this video, we're going to take you on a fascinating journey through the world of generative AI, starting from the early history of artificial intelligence as a scientific field to the cutting-edge AI agents shaping our world today. Thank you for joining this video, and let's get started. This video is a part of the Udemy course, Manual and Automation Testing with the help of ChatGPT. For more details, please check the video description. So, let's start with the chronology of AI development. Of course, we'll cover it only briefly, since each stage took years of research, but this overview will give you a clear understanding of what AI actually is. Let's start with the birth of AI as a science, 1956, which was when the first ever artificial intelligence conference took place at Dartmouth College, USA. It was organized by John McCarthy, Marvin Minsky, Claude Shannon, and Nathan Rochester, making the official beginning of AI as a scientific field. The main idea behind the conference was ambitious yet visionary, to create machines capable of imitating human intelligence. As the organizers stated, every aspect of learning or any other feature of intelligence can in principle be so precisely described that a machine can be made to stimulate it. Then, just a year later, in 1957, Frank Rosenblatt created the perceptron, the first artificial model of a neuron. The main idea was to model the work of a biological neuron, a device that could learn to recognize patterns. It could learn from examples. Whenever it made a mistake, it adjusted the weights of its inputs. So, basically, the perceptron was super simple. It had just one neuron that could make one decision at a time. It didn't have any memory or sense of context, so it couldn't really think beyond that. All it could do were very basic things, like recognizing simple visual patterns, for example, telling the difference between a line and a circle. For a long time, it found almost no practical application, which eventually contributed to the first AI winter from the late 1960s to the early 1980s. A few decades later, researchers introduced the multi-layer perceptron (MLP) during the 1980s and 1990s. They discovered that by connecting many perceptrons together into layers, the network could learn more complex relationships. The key innovation was backpropagation, a method that allowed all layers of a neural network to learn from mistakes together. It calculated errors at the output and adjusted weights backward through the network, making multi-layer networks much more powerful. Neural networks became smarter and could model complex patterns to make accurate predictions, but they still worked only with numbers, not text, meaning, or language. Then, in the early 2000s, more computing power and larger datasets gave rise to deep neural networks, DNNs, allowing machines to learn complex patterns and representations, and different architectures were developed to handle specific types of data, such as images, text, and speech. In particular, convolutional neural networks, CNNs, proved highly effective for image recognition, as their architecture could automatically detect and learn hierarchical features from raw pixel data. Meanwhile, recurrent neural networks, RNNs, were designed to process sequential data, making them ideal for tasks involving text, speech, and other time-dependent information. Recurrent neural networks introduced a form of short-term memory, enabling them to retain information from a few previous words in a sentence and use it to influence the processing of the current input. However, they struggled with long-term dependencies, often forgetting important information from earlier parts of a sentence or paragraph, which limited their effectiveness in tasks requiring understanding of context over longer sequences, such as full paragraphs, conversations, or complex narratives. To solve this problem, in 2015, scientists invented the attention mechanism. This allows a model to compare every word in a sequence with all others, assign higher weights to the most relevant ones, and create a context-aware representation that captures relationships and meaning across the entire input, regardless of word order or distance. Thanks to attention mechanisms, neural networks could finally capture long-range relationships in text, enabling them to understand the context and nuanced meanings across entire sentences or even paragraphs, which significantly improved their performance on complex language tasks compared to earlier models. Then, in 2017, a group of Google researchers published the groundbreaking paper, "Attention is All You Need." In it, they introduced the transformer architecture, a model that completely changed the field of artificial intelligence, providing a new way to process and understand sequences of data, scale efficiently to very large datasets, and set the foundation for powerful language models. Instead of processing text word by word like RNN, transformers looked at all words simultaneously using a technique called self-attention. This meant that every word could see all other words and understand which ones were most relevant. The transformer could understand context on a global scale, considering relationships between all words in a sequence rather than just nearby ones. It was faster to train, more accurate in predictions, and capable of much deeper comprehension, allowing it to capture subtle meanings, nuances, and dependencies that previous models struggled with. It was the transformer architecture itself that sparked a revolution in the world of AI, as OpenAI took the transformer architecture proposed by Google in 2017 and built the first GPT, Generative Pre-trained Transformer, on its foundation in 2018. This marked the first major step in the development of generative language models. The transformer architecture was scaled up and trained on massive amounts of text from the internet. GPT was still made of millions of perceptrons, but now they were organized into deep layers connected through attention. The model learned grammar, logic, and facts from the data, enabling it to generate text that sounded natural and human-like. For the first time, AI could write coherent paragraphs, answer questions, and imitate human communication, demonstrating an unprecedented ability to understand context, follow logical reasoning, and produce text that closely resembled human writing. However, early versions of GPT weren't very user-friendly. People had to write very specific technical prompts to get good results. For example, summarize the following paragraph in exactly 2 sentences using academic tone. From 2018 to 2020, OpenAI released 3 versions of GPT, each improving in scale and language understanding. This didn't feel natural to most users. The model was powerful, but it needed a more intuitive way for humans to interact with it. To solve this problem, OpenAI created ChatGPT, which was released in 2022. This version of GPT was specifically fine-tuned for dialogue, meaning it was trained to understand and respond more conversationally. As a result, ChatGPT could hold natural, coherent, and interactive conversations with users. They used conversation datasets where the model learned to respond in a natural, back-and-forth human style, including nuances like context, tone, and relevance, so that it could respond more like a real person in dialogue. They also implemented instruction tuning, meaning the model could follow everyday human instructions, performing tasks like "explain this like I'm 5" or "write me a polite email with clarity and correctness." Thus, ChatGPT became the first AI system that felt truly conversational and approachable. People could talk to it as it were a real person, marking a turning point in how humans interact with technology and ultimately changing the world that we have now, where AI is everywhere. After ChatGPT's success, other companies began developing their own language models from 2023 till nowadays, such as Google Gemini, Anthropic's Claude, Meta's Llama, and Mistral's Mixtral, and their number continues to grow rapidly. But the fact remains the same. Despite their differences, all of these models share the same underlying foundation, the transformer architecture. The transformer became the universal blueprint for modern AI, powering chatbots, coding assistants, translation tools, image generation systems, and more. Today, every major large language model from GPT-4 and Claude 3 to Gemini and Mistral is built on the transformer principle. Words are processed in parallel, context is understood globally, and meaning is generated dynamically. This means that even the most advanced AI systems of today still trace their roots back to Frank Rosenblatt's perceptron, the simple idea of a neuron that could learn. Besides the development of AI itself, the way it is used has also changed and evolved significantly over time. So, let's take a look at how its applications and impact have transformed. In the early days, large language models, LLMs, could only be used on their own dedicated platforms. For example, ChatGPT only through the website chat.openai.com, Claude only on the Anthropic website, Gemini only through Google. The only way to work with these AI models was the classic copy-paste approach first. You had to navigate to the dedicated platform, log in, and open the interface where the AI could be used. Then, you needed to carefully write down the corresponding prompt, making sure it clearly described the task you wanted the AI to perform in order to get a meaningful response. Next, you would copy the result generated by the model, checking it for accuracy formatting or any errors before using it. And finally, you had to paste it into your code, document, or project, often repeating the process multiple times if adjustments or refinements were needed. This stage is often called the copy-paste era of AI. The models were powerful, but they worked in isolation outside the actual work environment and tools. While some limited integrations began appealing around 2022-2023, most AI models were still primarily accessed through dedicated platforms, and seamless workflow integration was not yet widespread. But then things changed dramatically. LLMs were no longer limited to their own websites and began moving directly into everyday work tools, with the widespread use of AI agents around 2024-2025 marking a shift from isolated models to integrated, autonomous systems that can operate seamlessly within applications, workflows, and tools. Now, AI is appearing everywhere in your workflow, and you can integrate it as a plugin, an extension, or a built-in feature in different places, such as code editors, browsers, design and productivity apps, or even directly in your operating system. For example, in code editors like VS Code, Cursor, Replit, or JetBrains IDEs, AI can help you write functions, catch errors, refactor code, explain logic in plain English, suggest improvements, and even automate repetitive tasks. In browsers, AI can be added through extensions or built-in assistants to summarize web pages, draft emails, automate searches, suggest content while you browse, and make research faster and easier. In design and productivity apps like Figma, Notion, Canva, or Mirror, AI can generate content, create visuals, organize workflows, spark new ideas, enhance presentations, and design layouts. Finally, in operating systems such as Windows, Copilot, or macOS Intelligence, AI can manage files, improve searches, handle communication tasks, streamline daily work, automate routine tasks, and provide quick insights whenever you need them. So, instead of having to switch to a separate chat website, you can now collaborate with AI inside the environment where you actually work. This deep integration marks the moment when LLMs evolved into AI agents. An AI agent is not just a chatbot, it's an intelligent assistant that can think, plan, and act. In particular, it can understand context. It knows what you're doing and why. This allows it to give suggestions that actually make sense for your current task. Also, it can use external tools like APIs, browsers, or file systems. That means it can go beyond just answering questions. It can interact with other programs to get things done. It's capable of making multi-step decisions. For example, it can analyze code, debug errors, write a test, and even run it, all in one flow without you having to do each step manually. Plus, it remembers what it did before, so it can improve over time, helping it give better suggestions and assist you more effectively. So previously, as you might have noticed, LLMs just answered your questions. Today, AI agents go further. They help you actually get things done. They've evolved from being a tool you talk to into a partner that works alongside you in real time. This shift defines the modern era of applied AI, where language understanding meets real-world action. That's all from our side. In the upcoming videos and throughout our courses, we'll show you how to put AI into practice, so stay tuned. If there are any topics you'd like us to cover, don't hesitate to leave a comment. We hope to see you in the next videos.